a lot of it has to do with the fact that I remember that this is a choice. That I'm fortunate enough that swimming is a choice and that I am still physically strong enough to be able to do it at the level that I'm doing it. What's nice is that I know that anytime I want to stop and walk away from it, I can.
What's up, and what's up?
And welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by the Chit Podcast Network. Now today, we had the very fun experience of talking to Quah Ting Wen. Okay, which if you are a Singaporean, you shouldn't feel that this name is very foreign because she's one of the very well-decorated and very well-known national swimmers for Singapore lah.
The interesting thing is to see Jin Yong fangirl.
Hey, hello.
A big fan from here. It was the first time I see Jin Yong enjoy an interview so much.
Hey, I enjoyed my other interviews also, okay?
Yes. But it's really very true that honestly, it's really quite crazy. It's like the things that you found out, like the fact that how many times she actually practiced from the very young age of 12, 13 years old. Because this sounds like a very foreign thing. This is something that you usually watch in like those athlete movies. Like, this is like the journey that they have.
It was a pleasure talking to her because she was very down to earth. She could share a lot. And she also shared some very funny stories lah. Yeah, so without further ado, before we get into our episode, a word from our sponsor. We would like to take a quick break to thank our friends at Xandro for sponsoring this week's episode. Xandro is Singapore's pioneering longevity brand dedicated to helping people live longer, stronger, and healthier lives through science-led nutrition. With a focus on transparency, innovation, and community support, Xandro empowers you to take control of your wellness at every stage, offering research-backed supplements that combine quality, efficacy, and convenience.
They've built a full range of healthcare products designed to tackle almost any wellness concern you may have. And here are just a few highlights. One of the standout products is LPC Neuro, an advanced omega-3 that delivers DHA directly to the brain for sharper focus and long-term cognitive health. For mobility, joint recovery helps ease discomfort and rebuild strength with collagen support, perfect for athletes and active adults. Pure magnesium glycinate provides stress relief, better sleep, and muscle support in the gentlest filler-free form available.
And for those beginning their anti-aging journey, Pure NMN 500mg is a pure market unique option that boosts energy and helps manage aging symptoms. Of course, their best-selling product, Protocol XB3, remains a fan favorite, delivering over 20 clinically validated ingredients for daily energy, recovery, and cognitive performances.
To learn more about Xandro and their amazing range of products, check out the links to their website below or order directly online at Shopee and Lazada today.
Once again, a big thank you to Xandro for sponsoring this episode, helping you live longer, stronger, and better every day. And now, let's get into the episode. And welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by Chit Podcast Network. Now today, we have with us arguably Singapore's greatest female swimmer on our podcast. Quah Ting Wen is a Singaporean professional swimmer who specializes in butterfly, freestyle, and individual medley events and has represented Singapore at multiple Olympic Games and international competitions. She has appeared in 9 SEA Games, winning more than 60 medals overall, including dozens of gold medals. 2023 SEA Games in Cambodia, she was awarded the top athlete of the Games after winning 6 golds and 2 silvers. Please join me in welcoming Ting Wen. Hello, Ting Wen.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on your show.
To give our viewers some context, we were actually fiddling around a lot with the technical stuff before we actually got this recording started.
Yeah, I'm not the best with tech. I leave my expertise in the pool. Outside of that, I'm quite normal.
How do you say tech stuff and water don't go really well together?
No. Do not put your tech in the water.
Before we get into our interview, we would just like to ask you, Ting Wen, what have you been busy with recently?
We just finished up with the World Championships, which were held in Singapore back in July. We had a week off. We took a break, and then we have been back in the water training the last 3 weeks because we actually have the Southeast Asian Games end of the year in December in Bangkok this year. So we've started training for that. Well, I think it would be my 10th actually. Yeah, okay. Entering the double digits.
Wow, not many people can say I participated in 10 SEA Games. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It says a lot about the age also lah.
Well, that means how old were you at your first SEA Games?
Yeah.
My first one was in 2005, so I turned 13 that year. Sec 1.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah.
And you see, I think you're very old, but actually you're about the same age as us.
matured. We are matured.
Yeah. Okay. So before we dive into the interview straight, we would like to ask you another question, which is, what are some of your other interests and hobbies besides swimming?
So growing up, I started swimming when I was 12. So that didn't really leave me a lot of time outside of school and swimming to do too much. So in my free time, I would, and it was also very physical, right? Because swimming takes a lot of energy. So I would spend a lot of my free time with books, read a lot. I did a little bit of like I would like to write a little bit also. We have 2 dogs at home also, so I spend
that's nice.
time like taking care of them. Other than that, it's just kind of trying to keep up with my social life because swimming takes up a lot of time and energy. So, and spending time with friends. I've been trying to be better with like planting stuff. Like I like being in nature and stuff. So I've been trying to be better with my green thumbs, but that one is not very successful so far.
A work in progress. A work in progress.
Yeah.
So Ting Wen, before we get into the interview, I have to say, as a publisher, I want to chop you when you decide one day to publish a book.
You have that on record, right? Today?
Yes, you have that on record.
Yes.
All right, you are the first one to ask, so you get priority.
Sure, thank you.
We normally start our podcast interview by learning about the origins of our guests. Actually, when did you decide like, okay, I actually can try being a professional swimmer, or like swimming is actually my thing?
So I'm the oldest of 3 children. I'm older than my brother by 4 years. So for 4 years, I was by myself, and my parents would take me to the nearby swimming pool to play when I was younger. And I think it came to a point that we were going to the swimming pool so often that they decided to put me in the survival courses to make sure that I was water safe.
Okay.
So I did like the different levels from bronze to gold, where they make you like wear pajamas and then jump in the pool, swim across, take out pajamas, like tie it up, blow it into a float, survival stuff lah. So it was quite fun. I finished all levels of that, and then I forget, but someone gave my parents the idea of like, why not try to learn, the 4 strokes. And so they asked me, and as a 7, 8-year-old kid, I didn't know any better, so I was just like, okay, I'll just try. And back then, in my primary school, I had afternoon sessions for primary school. I don't know if they still have that anymore. So in the mornings, I will go swim at 8 in the morning, and then I'll go to school in the afternoons. And that I spend the 2 years from the ages of 8 to 10 learning the 4 strokes. And I only started racing properly when I was maybe around 10, 11 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. It's considered late now. It's considered late now, by the way. If you ask parents, some of them put their kids in swimming like with the idea that they want their kids to do competitive swimming at around the age of 4 or 5. So learning the 4 strokes at 8 or 9, it's kind of late if you're talking about present times. But yeah, that's kind of when I got into it.
I keep thinking back when I was young, right? Even going for one training a week felt like so tiring to me. I felt like my parents had to force me to go into like every week. Once every month is like, oh, I enjoy, but then every other week it's too much. So was it difficult for you like to commit to like once you started rigorous training? Was it harder?
Yes and no. I think it's a mix of things. I think being the oldest child, I think I was quite an obedient oldest child. Like I would, whatever my parents tell me to do, I'll do it. I would complain sometimes, but for the most part, I would be quite obedient. I think also my personality, where I get into something, I can be quite focused, and I'm quite detail oriented, which was very important when learning the 4 different strokes. And so I spent those 2 years just like, it wasn't even any fast swimming. It was a lot of very slow, detailed, like just doing drills up and down the pool. And I think while most people find that boring, I was actually very okay. And because again, I was afternoon session for primary school, I spent a lot of that time by myself with the coach, and actually the coach's older of 2 sons. And it would just be like me, like a 8-year-old kid with, I forget how much older he is than me, but I used to train with Tam Ping Ting's father. Yeah. So the guy who swam across the English Channel, I used to train with his dad and the 2 brothers when I was in. His father was the one who taught me the 4 strokes. So I have this I still have this visual of me just in like the Queenstown public pool in one lane by myself. Then PJ is in the other lane doing his like fast swimming, and then like his father or my coach like sitting at the side. So that's my memory of, that was one of my clearer memories of like the beginning of my proper swimming career.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool to see like now all of them like where they are
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was a lot younger, obviously I was a child, I didn't know much, right? And then as I got older, and then I read in the papers, I saw that he swam the English Channel. I was like, oh yeah, I used to train with that Koko. So
Go.
yeah.
Koko?
So but yeah, it was very easy for me to just kind of be okay staring at the black line. A lot of people say it's very boring, and sometimes when people meditate, they go into this like flow.
Yeah,
I think I
you go
get that
into
when
the
I
flow.
swim sometimes. Yeah, I'm not like
Yeah.
100% like focused, right? But I'm kind of like in this nice space between being focused and also like being relaxed. And yeah, I think I learned that from quite a young age.
I always wanted to ask, like, cause you focus more on butterfly, freestyle, and medley events, right?
Yeah.
How did you choose to focus on the different events?
It's a very normal like kid thing, right? Like you tend to gravitate towards things that you are better at. So my worst stroke is breaststroke. I hated it. And the only reason, so I don't swim the individual medley anymore. The individual medley is an event that consists of the 4 strokes. You swim it butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. I used to swim it more. I used to swim it when I was younger. I don't swim it anymore. I only swim the freestyle and butterfly. And I used to swim it when I was younger. And the reason why I didn't ever really become very good at it was because my breaststroke was so bad. I would dive in, swim super fast for the butterfly and backstroke, be in front of everyone. Then by the time it came to the breaststroke, which is the third leg, everyone would catch up to me. And then like the freestyle, by the 4th leg, I just had to like play catch up. And it was, yeah. So the simple answer to that is that I basically just swam the events that I'm good at. Because I cannot, I was bad at the other ones. Yeah.
Actually, would you say that because of you, it was like a main decision or like a main push factor for both your brothers and sisters to also join to become swimmers?
For sure.
Like they saw you, then they were like, wow, actually
my Zhe is so good. I want to be like her.
I want to be as good. Yeah, I can do it too.
When I say for sure, as in yes, for sure they got into swimming because of me, but I don't think it was because I inspired them in any way. I think because of the age gap between each of us. Like I'm 4 years older than my brother, and then Zheng is 4 years older than my younger sister. So we're all 4 years apart. And I think because of the age gap, my mom, when I was like when I was at training, she would have to bring my brother along with her because we don't have a helper. So then she would just take him everywhere with her. And so he spent a lot of time at the swimming pool, and after a while small boys, like they get bored, he used to be very naughty also, quite playful. So then, you just end up like walking to the side of the water anyway. And then my mom was like, okay, then you go swim with like the jiaolian for the younger ones over there. And it was the same thing with my sister also. So it was more, I think, because they were around the swimming pool so much that they ended up being in it more than like being inspired to do it.
I see.
Yeah.
It's the 来都来了这种感觉。
Since you're there,
might as well, just push you in.
Well.
See what happens.
Yeah. Not bad, you have at least some basic skills. Okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
What was the turning point for you that you decided that, I can take this seriously and become an athlete?
I do not think that there was one big turning point. I think for me, it was multiple small steps. It doesn't sound too inspirational, but I think by the time I got good enough and I look backwards, I'm like, like I got here. And I think it's because it was done in very small steps. So I went by age group, right? Like I started at those like junior in the club competitions, and then age group, and then you go to like school nationals, and then they send you for age group meets overseas, and then you start making so it's like a step-by-step thing. And like, I think for me, the whole time, I'm sorry to say that I wasn't one of those kids when I was younger and I looked on the TV and I was like, wow, I want to go to the Olympics one day, or like, wow, I want to like win a gold medal. For me, it had always been about, let's see like how good I can be at this level. And at the same time, I was having fun, right? I made friends. I had more friends at the swimming pool than I had in primary school. I was a very quiet kid, and so I didn't really have a lot of friends in primary school, but at the swimming pool, I found more of like a community there. And I think that social part of it helped a lot also. in me wanting to be at the swimming pool. It also helped that my coaches would tell me like, okay, like let's try and get you to this level, and now let's try and be the top of this level and move up. And so I think it helped that I had a very good support system around me to help encourage me to make it into a dream or a goal, I guess.
I think this is really what the Chinese say, the 千里之行始于足下, means you start the journey of 1,000 miles with the first step in front of you. So really just focus on each step. Then like you say, when you look back, you realize, hey, actually I've come a long way. Then you realize that
sometimes and I think sometimes people don't give themselves enough credit. Like they work so hard and then they don't stop to look behind and see like how far they've come. They just keep looking forward and like, oh, I'm not there yet, or I haven't reached that end point. But I think sometimes if people stop and look back, they'll realize that they've actually reached a lot of like smaller milestones along the way that keeps pushing them forward.
My next question will be about your decision to go UCLA in US to study. Like, why do you decide to make the decision like, for my university, I want to go like US to study?
So again, I think that decision was a little bit influenced by the people around me. I think at the time, the coach that I was training with, he had actually gone to the US for his university back when he was swimming. So I was training with Coach David Lim at the Swim Fast Aquatic Club, and he had gone to Brigham Young University, and he had a lot of his swimmers go overseas. And he actually told me that he thought that going overseas would be a good experience for me to see the world, get a good education, swim for, a university team, and just, I think, grow in a lot of different areas. I think he felt like if I stayed in Singapore, it might be a little bit harder for me to maybe swim as long, just because Singapore academics is... Yes, that too. But I think the first and foremost is that Singapore academics is... We have a very high standard here, and it's very difficult in school. And I think the way that I was training 10 times a week, so morning and afternoon. And I think he felt like if I did school here, I probably wouldn't be able to train that much. And so he felt like going overseas, there would be a better balance. And like you said, there would be also a different kind of competition there that would help me grow as an athlete. And there was another swimmer on the national team. She's 6 years older than me, and she used to swim for Singapore, and she went to UCLA. And because of that, Coach David encouraged me to look at the school because it's a school that's both good in academics and sport. And in a way, I have like a senior there already, and so he thought it would be good for me to kind of like follow in her footsteps.
In this journey, do you feel that you had to make any like sacrifices or adjustments to your life as a student so that you can train more?
So I started training 10 times a week since I was primary 6.
Wow.
Yeah. So
这个算什么?
Yeah, I know. So to me, that's quite... every time, it's funny because every time I mention it to people who haven't swum before or don't know me, I always get this reaction. And it's funny because I've been doing this for so long that this schedule seems normal to me until I actually speak to other people and I realize how crazy it sounds. But the Singapore Swimming Association started the National Training Center now, but back in 2004, it was called the Center of Excellence. So Singapore Swimming Association started the COE in 2004, and that was when I was primary 6. And so the coach that they brought in was very strict. He had this like 10 sessions rule. If you cannot make it, you don't like be a part of that group. Wow. And so we basically train from Monday to Saturday, twice on Monday, twice on Tuesday, once on Wednesday afternoon, twice on Thursday, twice on Friday, and then once on Saturday morning. So then your weekend starts after the Saturday morning training ends. So I did that. I have been doing that.
I have this burning question, right? Then what if you have to go on holiday? Like, so because you go on holiday, you miss like an entire season of trainings, right?
So all the parents of the swimmers back then used to have to plan their holidays around when...
the off-season.
Yes. So every year there will be like a big competition, right? Some years it'll be Olympics, and every 2 years there's SEA Games, every 4 years there's Asian Games. So after each year's big competition, we'll be given about maybe 2 weeks off. Back then now I take a longer break, but when I was younger, it would be like 2 weeks off. Then my parents be like, okay, we plan holiday then. And then yeah. So really, I think my life revolved around swimming and the schedule.
Well, this is even shorter than But we watch the English Premier League. The English Premier League players get 3 or 4
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
I'm
they
like,
got so
"You're
much
2
longer
weeks."
break.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes so much sense that all of your siblings join at the same time, so it's easier for them to plan. Like, okay,
Yeah,
since
yeah, yeah. Go holiday easier.
since we're already using these 2 weeks, might as well it makes sense that everybody just stick to this schedule.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
I have some friends who have siblings in different sports, and it's quite hard for them sometimes to arrange their family holidays because everyone has
Yeah.
a different off season. It happens to be this way most also because of the nature of the sport. I won't speak for like the track athletes or anything, but I think walking, being on land, more closely mimics the action of running than anything on land does to swimming. And so if you're out of the water for too long, you tend to, we call it lose the
feel lah.
feel. Yes, we lose
Yeah.
the feel, and it takes us even longer
Yeah.
to get back into into fitness. We try to not take too much time out of the water.
I wanted to ask you, when did you first get called up to the national team, or was it was it an introduction or?
If you're asking about like a national team for competitions,
Mm.
every year they have a standard to hit, and if you hit the standard, you are on the team. So the team can change
okay.
depending on the competition.
I see.
I would kind of, it's quite a loose term. I think that anyone who has represented Singapore before is kind of like on the national team. But if you're talking about every like specific competitions, then the team for that competition depends on who has qualified for that year or for that competition that year.
Oh.
And so my first
Oh.
one, I think like really I've been to smaller overseas competition for Singapore, but age group, right? Like, so for my first one was when I was 11, and I went to Vietnam with 5 other girls and 6 boys. And that's considered like an international meet for Singapore, but it's age group level. That was my first one. But if you're talking about national level, it would have been the World Champs actually in 2005, also when I was Sec 1. So it was before SEA Games. So I went for the World Championships before SEA Games.
It was SEA Games. Wow.
So
Sec 1, I'm thinking about how to go to school in the morning.
Yeah, I have trouble even waking up to go to a normal class, let alone going for a World Championship.
Yeah, so that, I mean, like going for that as my first one was quite nerve-wracking. I remember leaving my parents at the airport and crying a little bit just because I think I was quite nervous. It was my first time traveling without my parents. We were going to Canada. It was quite a far, like it was the furthest I've ever flown by myself. And I was the youngest on the team. So there were no other younger ones. The next oldest person was maybe 4 years older than me. So I was primary 6, and like the next person was like Sec 3 or Sec 4. It was quite scary. So that was my first one.
I believe you 100% will remember your first podium finish.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes. I came in 3rd for the 800 freestyle at the 2005 SEA Games. So my first SEA Games, I medal. I got an individual medal in a long distance event.
What a subtle flag.
30
years old people thinking about how to go to school. I got a medal.
Also cried before the event actually. I remember sitting in the reporting room and feeling so nervous. I actually cried a little bit, and then I was like, okay, time to swim.
Let the pool water just hide my tears. I believe after there will become a time where you'll feel slightly either burnt out or because you've been here for so long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always a question about how do you keep yourself motivated and hungry, especially after winning so many medals.
When kids are younger, right, and you throw them a lot of hard work, and especially when they are growing children, their performance tends to be like that. Like they improve at quite a good rate, and it's quite consistent. They'll keep dropping time every competition, and it gives them a lot of confidence. And I think it comes to a point where that acceleration drops off, and you start to either not hit your personal best times anymore. You start to maybe not win, or other people start catching up with you. The times that got a little bit more difficult for me was when I stopped dropping so much time. And yeah, I mean, also as you get older, it's not just school and swimming anymore, right? Like as you get older, there are other things that come into your life also that it feels a little bit more complicated. There are other things that you become interested in and you want to spend time on, but then, you
yeah.
know, the swimming hasn't changed, so it's not like you have added more time into the 24 hours in your day. Especially when I got older, I would sometimes look outside my sport and see how much time like my schoolmates will have, you know, outside of school to hang out with each other, or
Yeah.
you know, people going for, like you said, longer holidays, whenever they wanted, you know, during the year. I haven't actually ever thought about quitting. Yes, there are times during training where I'm so tired that there's just that childish thought like, oh, after this training session, I'm gonna stop. I'm never gonna come back because I'm so tired. Right? And then after that, you go to bed
again.
yeah, I'm never swimming again. And then after you wake up the next morning at like 4:45 and you just start the whole day again. And you just repeat that to yourself. So, but I mean, like, I will have those thoughts, right? But I never really once considered like properly stopping, because I think at the end of the day, I really enjoy being in the water. I feel the most confident and the most comfortable in there. I feel quite fortunate that I found something that I'm quite good at. And I also feel very lucky that I have my two siblings who can be there with me to experience the similar thing as me. I say this to quite a lot of people now at this age. I don't think that I would have swum for this long if I didn't have my siblings with me. Because swimming can be quite a lonely sport. A lot of my peers, a lot of my classmates have retired like almost like 10 years ago. So I have been the oldest on the team for a very, very long time. And I think if I didn't have my siblings with me sitting in the car at 5 a.m. going to the swimming pool, it would not be as easy, or it would be even harder to do it. I think that has also helped a lot in those moments where I'm like on the fence, like, should I stop? Should I continue? I do want to continue, but you know, I know the road ahead is very hard. I don't know if I want to put myself through that, but then I know I have my siblings with me, and that kind of pushes me to the side of like, okay, let's do it.
So just a fun question because 你讲到有点认真, I want to like divert the question a bit.
Sorry.
Do you have any pre-competition like superstitions or any routines that you can share with our listeners?
Well, I am not as superstitious as some people. Let me think. I don't have any like special songs I listen to. When I was younger, maybe now I don't even bring my earphones with me to compete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you lost it. Yeah.
Before I lost it. No, I would listen to them like while warming up. I would like on land when I warm up, and then I go into the water to swim. But when I go to the reporting room before my race, I don't have my earphones with me. Most of the time I would take like caffeine gels or whatever, and so I'm quite hyped up already. And I learned that when I am on caffeine gels and then I also have like music in my ears, I get a little bit too like too excited, too much. I kind of like was deciding between listening to more relaxing music or just like no music at all, and I realized like actually not having music it works fine with me, right? And I guess my ritual would kind of just be like more like the self-talk. Like what am I thinking about? Like how am I visualizing the race? I really don't have anything too special. I don't have any like special. I'm trying to think if I have anything super interesting.
No, you think so hard. 没有就没有, it's okay. We can move to the next question.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I know some people who really do like have like a superstition, but my thing would really just be doing everything according to like the timeline. Like I have a very specific timeline. I have a very specific set of things that I'll bring with me to the reporting room, and I keep it the same all the time because I think that is the best way to get get consistent results. Like I feel like if you keep changing up your preparation before the race, I just feel like that you just run the risk of having like problems come up, right? But if you have the exact same runway before, then even if something messes up, it's okay because you kind of know like how to fall back on your prep and your planning before.
Alright, before we get into our episode, we'd like to thank SG Watch Hub for sponsoring this episode. SG Watch Hub is Singapore's one-stop platform for all things watches. Whether you're buying, selling, or just crazy about timepieces, SG Watch Hub connects you to sellers, retailers, and fellow collectors so that you can find that perfect piece for your wrist.
But it's not just the marketplace. They've got you covered with a full range of services from repairs and polishing to strap replacements, protective films, watch winding, and even authentication to make sure that your watch is 100% the real deal. With service partners all over Singapore like Goodman Luxury, High Enhanced, Global Watch Service, and more, getting your watch pampered has never been easier.
But wait, there is a bonus. SG Watch Hub even offers brand partner promo codes so that you can score special discounts on watches from different brands. So, if you love watches as much as we do, head over to sgwatchhub.sg and join the community, bringing the world of watches to your fingertips.
Once again, a big thank you to SG Watch Hub for sponsoring this episode.
I feel like every athlete's highlight is their Olympics participation and their games. So what do you think are some of your highlights since you have went to 3 Olympics that you can share with us and some memorable things that happened?
My favorite Olympics would have to be the one in Beijing in 2008.
Oh,
it was my first one. I was 16, I was Sec 4. I mean, China is fantastic at hosting. Like, I remember going for the opening ceremony and it just was, well, I took my breath away. And it was great because like I had my best friend on the team with me. She was also racing at the Olympics, and it was very nice to experience that with my friend. And I remember being at the Games Village and just seeing all the best athletes in the world from all the different sports. All the super tall basketballers or like the super big like weightlifters, you know, like you have, this is not Beijing, but like at the Rio Olympics, like they had the open tennis court and like Nadal was like practicing. You have all the people, and you have other top athletes from the world just standing like fans, like standing at the fence watching him. It was very cool. It was just mind blowing to see like the best of the best from everywhere in one place. And that was the same, right, in Rio in 2016 and also in Tokyo in 2021. Just having, I would say that would still be the highlight for every games. It's just seeing the top in the world all in one place. Tokyo was special for me because that was the Olympics I went for with my brother. Yeah. He went for his first one in 2012 in London. And I really wanted that to be our first one together, but I had actually broken my arm the year before that in 2011. So I was injured. I didn't get to swim the trials and I didn't go to London like the next year. And so, Rio was the first one with my brother, 2016.
You could have potentially went to 4 Olympics lah.
Yeah, if I wasn't so silly and went surfing in a place that wasn't like appropriate for beginners.
Okay.
I mean, So the story is that it was Thanksgiving and I went home with one of my teammates from UCLA, and you know, it being California, I was like, okay, I need to go back with super cool like California stories. And what's a super California thing to do? Surfing. And so her sister was gonna go and I said, take me with you. Like, I want to learn. I mean, other than looking cool, I also really wanted to learn. So she was like, okay, let's go. And she brought me to a beach that was just like not suitable for someone who had never surfed before. And I had actually managed to get onto my knees and I was quite like proud of myself. And I was like, no, I want to learn how to stand up. I must learn how to stand up today. And she's like, are you sure? I was like, yes. And so I was going out the second time and this big wave came and I didn't push the board away far enough for me, and like the wave hit the board into my arm and that's how I broke it.
Oh man.
And that's why I didn't.
Story of why I didn't go to the 2012 Olympics.
This is one of the more casual stories I heard about athletes injuries. Most of the time, like, wow, I was fighting with this opponent, I cannot slide it.
It makes for a story now, and you know, eventually I did manage to go for the Olympics with my brother, just a different one lah. But I remember for the rest of my university swimming career, my coach made sure that anytime I went home with someone, I was not allowed to do anything dangerous for the rest of my time at university.
Who was the one athlete you've seen at all the Olympics that you just like, you fangirl over one?
Yao Ming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And actually, I saw him again in Hangzhou in 2023 for the Asian Games. But he wasn't there as an athlete. I think he was there as like an ambassador or something. But he was walking around the Games Village and it was quite cool.
Yeah.
He's so tall.
Wow. Well, I tell you, when I watch his early games in the NBA, his touch is so soft, like so slick for such a tall guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even like a super huge basketball fan, but like just like seeing him, I was like, whoa. Amongst others lah, but like that one was the first one, especially I think in Beijing, it was a big deal, right? Because China was
he was,
hosting,
yeah.
so.
For someone as like yourself, you know, you already mentioned before that you have with almost 20 years of success. So when I ask, what is your secret to such a long career?
I don't want to get too I know I don't want to get too serious or like philosophical about it, right? This is not supposed to be a super serious conversation, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I remember that this is a choice. That I'm fortunate enough that swimming is a choice, and that I am still physically strong enough to be able to do it at the level that I'm doing it. What's nice is that I know that anytime I want to stop and walk away from it, I can. And I think knowing that it's a choice sometimes. It's funny, last time, you know, when we were younger and our 教练we'll be complaining at training. And I realized afterwards that the coaches were doing this to kind of like trick us to swimming fast, but like we'll be like complaining about training, being very tired. And then the 教练will tell us like, okay, let's do 接力, let's do relay. Everyone come up, we do relay, and then like everyone be super excited because it's so fun, and then and like, you know, and then the coach would be like, do you want to do the training set or you want to do relay? And obviously everyone would want to do a relay, and everyone would just like swim super fast because they were having fun. Yeah, I'm lucky enough that swimming has been quite fun. For the most part, it's been good for me, and I enjoy it lah. And I know that not a lot of people are lucky enough to be able to do something they're so passionate about for so long. Right? I'm lucky enough that
it's a blessing lah. Yeah.
In a way, yeah. And I think I just have to remember to go in with the mindset that I get to do this. I don't have to do it. I get to do it. So I'm actually lucky enough to do it. So I think that changing the mindset, I feel like actually anyone can do that, right? If you change your mindset on how you approach things, it really helps you sometimes.
Especially when you're going through all these trainings and especially competitions, right? What are some things that you feel that like the public don't get to see, that, you know, these are the things that go behind the scenes?
I think maybe just like the amount of time that we train. Because I think when the public sees swimming, they see us competing, they see us on the podium, hopefully, and it's quite short. But I think they don't realize how much time and effort goes into it, how much sacrifice, how much people, not just the swimmers, right, but the people around them, like how much the families have to give up to be able to support their children. I have been quite selfish in a way that I'm constantly taking from people. My parents are constantly giving to me, like the coaches give, even the sports scientists, right, who come and like take our blood, measure this, measure that. In a way, they are giving to us. As athletes, we are so high maintenance that we are constantly taking, and so in a way, I'm very grateful that the support has been there for us lah.
Which is really true, because before coming on, we didn't even know that it's possible to train 10 times a week.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I can't even imagine doing something 10 times a week nowadays.
Yeah, because there are only 7 days, right? So you can't go
only
past
7
like
days.
7.
Yeah. Like to think about like swimming twice in one day already. Swimming once a day already felt so tiring.
Yeah.
To think about doing it twice, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, I am also at an age where I'm starting to understand why people like think it's quite crazy. Like my recovery rate is a lot slower now, so it takes me a lot longer to bounce back.
Ours, we realized like 15 years ago, but thanks for joining the normal.
You were late to the club.
Yeah, you late to the club. People, there'll probably be a lot of people recognizing you, especially and your family when you're going out. Is it hard to maintain a public image, or do you have to do anything different?
Surprisingly, not too many people recognize me in public. I think it's because when they do see us, it's with the cap and goggles on when we are competing. Sometimes I think people just stare because I'm taller than the average like girl in Singapore, so then they're just like staring at me because of the height. So I'm never really sure unless they actually come up to me and like say hi. And sometimes people do. I think the only thing that I realize, everything is fine, it's normal. I think I just realized that in a way I have to also be careful of how our code of conduct is like in public, because in a way, and also this has been drilled into us since we were young and like traveling overseas for competitions, is that in a way we are like an ambassador of the sport, we are an ambassador of the country, and so we should behave appropriately. Especially nowadays, right? There are like phones everywhere and cameras everywhere. And, like, you just have to be a bit more careful because, like you said, social media is great, but the flip side of that is that then social media also in a way exposes everything and behave ourselves appropriately.
Probably form like many friendships with like all the other swimmers as well. Do you have like anyone in particular that like actually like influence you or inspire you to be a better competitor?
If you're talking about swimmers from overseas, I mean, when I go for competitions and I see some of the grades from other countries, it's always interesting to see how they prepare for a race, how they train. It gives you ideas, right, on how to do things better, how to do things differently. It's also nice to make friends from overseas also. And then, you see familiar faces when you travel. If you're talking about back home, the closest person in age to me right now on the team is Amanda Lim, and she swims the 50 freestyle. We race that sometimes, and she's only a year younger than me. So in a way, she's been on a very, very long journey with me also, and we've been training and racing together for almost about 20 years now. And yeah, I mean, I can't even remember like the first time we met or like how we even like became friends. But all I do remember is just one day we were both on the national team, and like this was a girl that I was racing against. Yeah, we've been to a lot of competitions together, and she's been with me through quite a lot. She pushes me to be my best. I mean, we are racing each other end of this year in Bangkok in the 50 free. So
that's so fun.
yeah. I mean, in the pool, we are competitors, right? We will respect one another by not giving each other a chance, and we just try our best to beat one another. But once we're out of the pool, we are friends, and I think there's something that's quite special.
My final part is I want to talk about something more out of swimming. Okay. Which is that do you have any upcoming interesting projects that is nothing to do with swimming that you can share with us one?
This is not swimming related, but I was actually inspired by swimming. I'm actually thinking of furthering my studies in counseling and therapy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not as sciencey as my siblings. I don't think I would be good enough to like go to medical school, become a doctor. But my interest in this started when I coach a little bit on the side sometimes. I coach one-on-one stroke correction with younger swimmers. And this interest started out because a lot of these younger swimmers, when they come to me, right, it's like sometimes like parents send their kids for tuition and just thinking that more class is better for their kids. When sometimes the kids come to me and yes, I would correct their stroke and we would focus on swimming things, but sometimes the kids will start talking about things in school or like at home where sometimes I feel they shouldn't be telling me as their coach. It's better if they told it to like a counselor or someone else, right? Someone who's not their teacher, not their parent, but also maybe not their coach. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been taking from the sport, from the people around me for the last 20 years. In a way, I've been quite selfish. And after I'm done with swimming, I really, really want to find a way to give back to the community. And I've been swimming for so long, and there were times where I wondered, swimming is so niche. Like if I come out and I find a job, I'll be starting from the bottom with all like the uni grads and I don't know anything. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized that swimming has taught me a lot of things. It's taught me how to work in a team. It has taught me leadership skills. It has taught me, I've learned how to function at the lowest rank of a team to mid-tier and now to like one of the oldest. And I've gone from like a rookie to in a way like almost like a role model for the younger ones. And I want to take that further and educate myself and be properly informed so that I can properly give back. I don't want to just like advise people just going off of like my own experience. I think school would actually help to in a way structure everything so that, then I can properly help people, not just in sport, right? There are people who in school, people in the workplace, even in the family environments, right, that could always use help. And that has been something that's been on my mind for a while, and I really want to explore that. On top of that, maybe, like you said, I still write here and there, and who knows, it would be nice to kind of, in a way, write down. I mean, I speak about my swimming journey and my swimming career a lot, but it might be nice to kind of have it down in writing and just kind of, in a way, pay homage to what has been a very long swimming career. Big chapter of my life.
As a publisher and as a writer, I will tell you, don't think so much about the book first. Just write first. Then when you have
Okay.
enough, then you can look back at what you have written. It's a bit like what you say, start from one step at a time. Just write one article by one article by one article. And you look back at it, then you can think about how you want to put it together as a book, how you classify. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Getting advice today. I like it. Thank you. We learn something new every day.
Yeah. Very active on social media. Okay. Then you do a lot of cover shots, you do a lot of brand endorsements also. Do you see that as something that you'll continue doing after let's say after you finally decide to, I won't say hang out your boots, but hang up your swimming cap?
Goggles?
Hanging out my goggles, my cap.
Yeah.
The commercial stuff kind of started mostly because I wanted to find ways to support myself as a professional athlete. Sport is coming up in Singapore. The support for sport is also coming up in Singapore. But I to make extra money on the side, like I look to sponsorships and doing like campaigns and stuff with brands. It actually took me a while to get comfortable doing all these campaigns and shoots. When I first started my Instagram, which wasn't even started by me, my friend started it for me. Like he was like, how can you not have Instagram? It's 2014 and like everyone has it. How do you not have it? I was like, I don't know, like I'm very okay, just like not. And then anyway, he created it for me and I was like, okay, fine. I'll just like, it became in a way like a photo album, right? It's a more like, it's a personal photo album. And so it took me a long time to be comfortable having it look a bit more commercial and feel a bit more commercial. And like it took me a while to get comfortable finding a balance between still keeping it quite authentic while still in a way like selling things. And it took me a long time to be comfortable selling products in a way, because essentially that is kind of what it is, right? At least with like the sponsorships and stuff. And so the middle ground that I was comfortable with was basically looking for brands that I would recommend to other people, or that I use myself, or I would love to be able to like work with. And that was kind of like a nice balance in keeping true to myself while also like in a way selling products. Would I continue this after I'm done swimming? I feel like a lot of the work that I do on social media comes hand in hand with my relevance as an athlete.
I see.
I think it's I think it's also something a lot of athletes also have to deal with when they are done with their sport. It's that a big part of their identity is gone, or it has to change. And with that, all the things that come on the side, like all the commercial shoots and stuff, which came along hand in hand with like being an athlete, right? And some people sometimes can't bear to let that go. For me, I'm okay. I'm actually more comfortable behind the camera. Like I enjoy, when I'm on family holidays, I will have my camera with me. I'll be taking like pictures of people. My younger sister, being Gen Z, is a lot more comfortable in front of the camera. So
quite obvious. Quite obvious. If you look at Instagram, quite obvious.
So I mean, if I ever get opportunities to work with like brands that I really enjoy or believe in and love, then I would be very honored. But it's not something that I'm like, okay, I must make it into a job. If it comes along with what I do next time and it helps to and it goes hand in hand with what I do, then I'm comfortable like exploring that.
I think this is a privilege because meanwhile, like me, right, I can say until tomorrow, like, oh, 潘婷很好用, but nobody will employ me. Okay, so so before we end our interview, we would just like to do a quick round of quick-fire questions. Okay, so my first question will be favorite song to listen to, not competition, can be our competition.
I used to listen to Magic by Coldplay on repeat for a period of time. Like that whole album actually, like Ghost Stories. Like not some of their more popular songs, but like I really like that whole album.
Most useful advice you have received?
Yeah, the mindset thing. Like how like you tell yourself you are lucky enough to get to do this. You don't have to do it. It's a choice. You get to do it.
Favorite sport besides swimming?
I would love to be in a team sport. If I could like live another life, I would love to be in a team sport. I'm not very good with like ball sports now, but hopefully like in another life, yes. So, I feel like I'll be a very good team player. I just need to find I need to find the perfect team sport.
Water if you play 10 times,
Yeah.
10 times a week, I believe you'll be great. At almost any sport.
But favorite swimmer besides Phelps, besides Phelps. Phelps is everybody's favorite.
That's like the go-to for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Very obscure. His name is Jason Lezak. He was on the 4x100 men's freestyle relay that Michael Phelps was on also in 2008 in Beijing. And they were losing to France on the third leg. And Jason Lezak jumped in and basically won the relay. And in a way, he's the reason why Michael Phelps has 8 gold medals from Beijing.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's that guy. Like it was, I remember I get goosebumps every single time I talk about it. But like I was staying there watching the race and the stadium, the arena was just, it was nuts.
Electric.
It was crazy. Yeah.
This is a question I've been very perplexed with because your Instagram shows your dog photos, your WhatsApp picture shows a cat. So are you a dog or a cat person?
If I could have both, I would say both. The cat was a stray. We adopted her. She like started like I would feed her, then I was slowly like entice her to come like in further and further. And in a way she became like our cat. But actually she's from like the neighborhood and she's a stray. But she passed away and so like in a way I just keep the photo out there like to remember her. But no, the dogs were a choice. The cat was just like a bonus. If I could keep both I would. But I feel like I like dogs because like they're so friendly, they're so happy. Cats are a bit more like aloof and But I've also been described as a cat sometimes also by people who if I'm not too comfortable with people or if it's the first time I'm meeting people or I'm in a big group, I'm usually quite quiet. And if I don't smile, people think I'm very unfriendly and so they are like, you're like a cat. I don't think that's true. I don't know.
I
doesn't feel like
Brandon will tell you this whole interview. I find you quite humorous.
Yeah.
Dog person.
Favorite way to unwind after a long day?
I am so used to doing this as a swimmer. I used to say this to my friends last time and they found me so weird. I like to lie on the floor. And out of habit, I will be lying on a roller. You know, like athletes, they have to like roll out because their muscles are very sore.
Yeah.
It's fun?
Yes. Yeah. So I have like that and like rollers of other shapes just lying on my floor. And like sometimes I'll lie on the floor and just like relax. And then I'll randomly like take a roller and like put it under my body to like massage.
I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm not expecting the answer.
That's a very
Lying on
unique
the
way.
floor. I remember I don't really tell a lot of people that because I remember I was like, my friend called me and then he was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, lying on the floor. It's like, the floor so dirty. So I don't know. Like sometimes I'm so tired from training, like I just sink down to the floor and just lie there for a while. Right? Before like using my phone, using computer, I just like to like lie there and
unwind.
I honestly think we can talk for another 2 hours, but we have to conclude somewhere before your brother's wireless earpods run out of battery. Okay. But it was a really, really awesome episode to get to talk to you and learn more about your career as a swimmer. But before we go, do you mind letting our audience know where they can reach out to you or if you want to remain obscure and ask people not to kachiao you?
Well, the only social media I have is my Instagram and it's my the handle is just my whole name, so it's Quah Ting Wen. Yeah, I have my email up there also. I'm actually quite responsive to people. Like even if people reach out over email, like not about sponsorships or whatever, just like randomly, there have been people who reached out to me personally and would either share things or like ask things. I'm usually quite okay. Like I will reply. My siblings are surprised sometimes. They're like, but why? Like you don't even know the person and I don't know. It's just I feel like it's in my nature and which is in a way I hope it's good, right? In the future, if I hope to help people, then I suppose. Yeah,
it's like the first step to being like a counselor. You know? It really
sounds
like you're totally leaning
Let
towards...
me help you. Let me help you.
You have a problem? Let me tell me more, please.
Yeah.
Wow, you have no idea how shocked I was because I reached out to a few guests. Then like some of the guests, I feel like okay, like, this is a long shot. I won't reply one. Then the email came. I'm like, can't reply.
Yeah. I have to say that Jing was really very, very glad and very, very happy with when he received a reply. He was like, "Oh my gosh, guys!"
Thanks.
I told the team also. I told the team of boys, then everyone like, huh? You got her on? I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
how? We were like,
one of
wow.
my achievements.
She replies to every email. No, it's been a while since I've done like a podcast and one like this long. I don't know if this is considered like a normal length, but yes, as you have mentioned, I feel like we could talk for a very long time about swimming, about things outside of swimming. But I just wanted to say thank you for, giving me this opportunity to share with you guys a little bit. I mean, some of the questions you asked brought me back to like way back when I was a kid, and I don't even think about those times anymore. But yeah, having this conversation brought up those times, and those are good memories for me. So thank you.
Yes,
but before we go, just like to wish you really all the best in your December games. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
hope you come back with even more medals. Then next time I won't be saying 60, I'll be saying 60 plus 70 medals.
Plus. Yeah, 70.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me share something with you. I didn't really want to like say this out loud to jinx anything until we got the official letter to say that we are going for SEA Games. Actually, I'm not at 60. I'm at 59.
Oh.
I'm at 59, okay. And the person who has the most medals, any color, in Southeast Asia is actually Jocelyn Yeo. She is like our like Singapore swim queen, right?
Yeah.
And she has 62. And so back in Cambodia when I finished like that games, and I kind of told like people around, I was like, okay, like I did 9 SEA Games really, I don't really want to swim anymore. One of the managers from the swimming association came over and he was like, Ting Wen, just swim one more. Like, if you win like another 4 medals, then you'll be the most bemedaled in Southeast Asia in history. And back in 2023, I was like, I mean, I don't know if I would want to swim past like 2024. I'm at that point, I was like, I'm 31. I want to see what's next already. I'm kind of looking at the next chapter. But like now that we're in 2025 and I'm still swimming, and like you mentioned, right, like I've done so many SEA Games, like how do I make it better or more special, or like how do I keep the fire going? And I've remembered what the manager said from 2023, and in a way I've kind of made it like a personal goal to kind of keep that fire going and make the most of the SEA Games in Bangkok. So I have a lot of fun. I will be trying my best, and who knows, the next time the next time we talk, or the next time you see me, I
You'll be the new swim queen.
in a way I hope to leave my legacy behind.